Anything else that you want to learn regarding code rate and LE and CD? Okay, let me share with you my screen. I think we did have a section about coding rate, but I guess I should cover a little bit more. So here's our pricing engine. We do not have to log in. Now our new pricing engine available for everyone. The consumer, I think it's better this way because the consumer and you are on the same page. You can see what they are doing and vice versa. So it's better this way. And for example, let's say you go to the main website, you run the code. Okay, first, the system is smart. It detects the user location and fill out the zip code automatically. So the consumer, when they go to our page, everything fill out automatically for them. They can edit it, of course, but they can leave it as is, and they can run the code. The system will try to determine if the borrower qualify for for home ready, home possible, or LLPA waiver or not. In general, it's pretty easy to get LLPA waiver, and you should try your best to obtain this. That way, it's the best rate possible. So click here to get the rate code. So on the top here, you can see LLP waiver. If you want to change, click on it, you can change it. Okay. I'm asking more so that if you have an existing transaction, it will be linked. So the income will be linked and show up here. That will save you time and it's more accurate. So that's why it's critical that the 1003 has the correct income. For sometime, if you know here, you need to enter how many properties they have. And the system will be smart as well. It will detect if the borrower how many properties they have. So the system will be smart. And that wise, it is critical to use the system to create a rate alert for every single transaction. The alert will link to the transaction and information will flow. That will help a lot. Okay. So now let me get the rate. On the left side, you see the different menu. We create more room to show the result. And most of the time you have to click on get more detail to see more. To some of you, the new LLPA change will include DTI. So now DTI will affect the rate. If it's more than 40%, the rate will get worse. So they're not always, but sometimes let me show you how you can understand more. You click on rocket, right, on the bottom. Okay, that is above. In the future, you see a rate sheet down here. You click on it, you can see the rate sheet, and you can confirm when will the DTI hit you. For example, you click here, you can click on, there's no hit on the DTI. That's why you don't see it here. There's loan size adjustment and LLPA waiver. You got it. So this borrower say 62.5 basis point. And that's why the rate is good for him, 6.5% or maybe 6.375%. I always expand this list by clicking on the rate to see who has the best rate, who have the second best rate, and go on. So you can determine which lender you send the loan to. On the left side, you always make sure the values are correct. Loan amount, property value, zip code, DTI, credit score. This is important, borrow pay or lender pay. So this is for the consumer. And by default, we set at 1%. You can increase or decrease it. You can do 75 basis point. You can do, and you know how much you make down here. What do you think about showing all of this compensation? Some loan officers show a concern that the borrower will negotiate because they know if they pay less, the rate will be better. For example, 6.375, right? The point is 884. Now if we lower the borrower pay compensation and code it, so the loan amount is 440, right? 1% is 4,400. Now at 75 basis point, it's 3,300. And if you see here, instead of paying point now, the borrower get a credit. This is borrower. You are not locking in. So this is borrower. And if you click here, you can see that the broker compensation is 3,300. Anyone have questions so far? So if your borrower shop around and say that why the main website show this rate, then you can explain that, oh, it depends on how much you pay. If the borrower pay less, they get better rate here. The borrower get all the credit from the lender. So if they pay less, the rate is better for them, of course. Any questions so far?
Yes. I try to set up from my portal, I try to set up this borrow page and lender page and go back to the borrower's quoting page website. No matter which point, like the borrow paid compensation points I put in, the rate is the same.
Okay. We can take a look at that.
Okay.
We can take a look right after this.
Okay.
So all of these parameters will affect the rate. Okay. And because this is a purchase, we only show the points of credit to the lender. In the near future, I will have click a link for borrower to click on it and see their loan estimate. That is my goal, to have that in the pricing engine. The borrower can see everything. Okay. And on top here, you can, if borrow 120-year fix, you click here, the borrower can see 20-year fix. I'm going to share with you some of the rate tool that will empower you. The first tool is you can compare different loan program. You can compare 20-year versus 15-year versus 30 years so that the borrower can decide whether they want to go 30 or 20 or 15. Remember, you are a mortgage professional. You need to have the knowledge and the ability to provide advice to your clients. If you only can provide quote, that is not good enough. You have to be so good that you can provide advice. The borrower, of course, will ask whether they should go 30 years, or 20 years, or 15 years. So you can give them advice. Okay. At 20 years, the borrower can get almost 6%, right? You can, let's say 6%. It's better to go with 5.99%. And then you can go with 30 year. You go to 30 year and you can compare 20 versus 30-year fix. The system is a little bit slow. We would improve it. You can compare up to 3 different loan programs, 15, 20, and 30. Okay. And you can compare. Oh, what happened? Okay, it's a bug now. Sorry. But you can, another way to compare it between 6% and another rate, 2 different rates. You can compare it, right? And then you can also compare. Sometimes the borrower want to refinance, and their rate right now is, let's say they have 22 years left, and the same loan amount, their rate is 6.5%. Then you can see that by refinancing, the borrower can save $71,000 because the rate go down from 6.5 to 6%. With 20%, the borrower always save a lot more. I'm sorry, this is all 20%. But the first 2 rows is to compare whether they should buy down the rate, right? At 6%, they have to pay 1,166 points. If the rate, because rate is higher, they end up paying more instead of saving. It's yellow, it's green. They paying more in interest. The bottom line is you see if the borrower save money over time. So this is the best option, the second best option, and this is the worst option. You should not do. That is the first way. After you compare, you have an option of share that exactly like this to the borrower, to anyone. So you can enter their information and send it to them. Or you can click on get shareable link, copy, and then you put it in an email to share with the borrower. This is very powerful. When you talk to the borrower and then email them the code, they will love it. They will impress. They will say, how come we work so efficient? We get everything done when we talk. No one else can do this out there, and you can do it. Another way is you can click on the share button on top here, and you'll be able to share the whole scenario to the borrower. A better way is, let's say if you want to send 6% rate to the borrower, you click on the right side, there's a link here. You click on it, it will copy to the clipboard, and then you can open up your email and you can paste it. You can send it, right? And here, borrow receive it, they click on it, they will see the rate. Really powerful. Communication is important. You can quickly send them what we discussed, and they can click on it, they can see the number instantly. They will trust you a lot more. So sometimes instead of talking to the borrower for 30 minutes on the phone without show them what's happened, you can send them the link and then you and them can look at the same page together. Okay. I am pushing Mozo to improve to allow us to share the screen with the borrower. We call that co-browsing. So the borrower, if while they fill out the application or while they quote rate, they can share with you their screen so you know exactly what they are doing. That is technology that allow us to do many great things. Anyone have any questions so far? Remember, every single number, every single link is important. Do not miss it. If you look here, the entire page, every single button or link or number are powerful, very powerful. Make sure you understand them all. Because if it's not important, I already hide it. I don't want people to get confused. I want everything simple and easy for everyone. So you can create a rate alert for the alert to keep track of the rate for the consumer for you. The borrower can click here to get pre-approved or they can get qualified. So when I talk to the borrower, this page is not only about quote rate anymore. It also help you compare rates, option, communicate to the borrower. It also help you. Let's say the borrower asks you, I want to know what my rate today. I want to know what my rate. Then you go here and quote rate. If they want to know, should I refinance? You go here. If they ask, do I qualify? You go here because you can click here and ask them, what is your income? They said 7,000. Sorry, not qualified. You get an answer like instantly. Under 50%, something wrong. You tell them, oh, you might not qualify. Let's review further. So the goal is to help you answer any question instantly. For example, if the borrower buy in an investment property, right? And it is a duplex, right? And then the borrower say, oh, can I down 20%? Then let's find out. See the message up here say, you need to down 25%. So it gives you an answer quickly. No, it's extremely difficult to remember all of these guidelines. Only machine can remember for you. So if anything wrong, it will show here on top to stop you. And that's how you can answer your clients. That's how we can answer that, our client. For example, let's say the borrower want to do VA loan. What happened? Oh, because the system is smart, it say, oh, it's investment. There's no VA loan allowed. That's why you cannot even select VA loan. See it? And then let's say you select owner occupy and you say VA loan. But then for some reason, borrower say, I want to do it as an investment. You select here, right? Let's see. The same method. Okay, let's say conventional. It might be allowed in some case. You might be able to do investment but only refinance. Only FHA that not allowed. So now I cannot select FHA. See, the system know that. The system know that. So now if you change to investment and trying to code it, oh, it's still conventional.
Excuse me.
Yes,
I'm following you. Could you go back and do that qualification page again? I can't find it on my page.
it's right here on the right side, the qualify me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So it won't even allow you to select FHA loan. And let's say you select FHA loan and then you try to switch back to investment, it would switch to conventional. We won't allow FHA on investment. So the system try to help you remember all of this. Also, let's look at this. If you click here, you know exactly what is the conforming loan limit, high balance loan limit. Let's say if the borrower asks you, hey, my loan is $1,100,000. You might, but if it's 2 units, then you know that the borrower can go to almost 1.4 millions. So the system remember all of this for you. If it ever change, the limit is here, VA is here, 3 units is here. You can change all of this and the number show up for you. Very powerful. No, I mean, people, it's hard to remember all of these limit. And the limit change every year too. So it's impossible to remember, and that's why we build it here. Another example is a VA loan. VA loan has a VA funding fee. So Mozo will calculate it for you. And in the near future, in about 2 weeks, you'll be able to click on it and see how this number is calculated so that you can explain to the borrower. So all of this to show you that technology is critical. It will help you, empower you, and let you communicate to the borrower. You gain the trust from them, and you can get the trust from them quickly, and you can win the deal. Very important. If you talk to the borrower and you are baffling, you don't know what rate, you don't know how to answer their client, you don't know how to answer them, or let's say if you don't know the answer and you guess in, you give them a wrong answer, later on you call them back and you change it, all of these are bad. The client will not trust you. And this is one of the reasons why my clients want to work with me. I give them my answer quickly and reliable. The answer is correct and they like it. And you should be able to do the same thing. Okay. So now, anyone have any question about the pricing engine, how to run code? And normally you always email the borrower the rate. Okay. Always email them or check a few rate and then share with them and then send them email.
Hey, Tuan, I have a question.
Yes.
How do you run pricing on new construction loans?
What do you mean construction loan? There's many different types of construction loan. The construction loan, that means you gonna build the borrower gonna build a house themselves.
Yes, these are investment properties in Tennessee, and they have the land and they want to build a cabin or property.
So the owner of the land will want to build the cabin, build
Right.
the house. That is very similar to the one-time close loan. Flagstar offer this. Some lender offer this. The borrower can borrow, they take out a loan. I think we have a training on this already and we recorded it. So if you contact your LOA, they can send you the information. But the only thing I'm not sure if it's for investment or for primary residence only. Basically, let's say if you need $400,000 loan, you can apply, you get approved. The lender will pay, let's say in 3 different times. As the house been built, the lender will release the fund. You have to have a contractor, licensed contractor to help you, and they will get paid by phase. And then after the loan is closed, the house is finished, the loan is closed, they will convert it to a conventional loan so that the rate is good and you don't have to worry about how to pay back that loan. You don't have to borrow hard money loan, any exotic loan. I hope I answered your question.
So for the pricing, I have to look at the lender's portal, right?
Yes, I think you have to, the best way, because rarely that we deal with this type of loan. So you have to call the AE to ask them. You can look up the AE. Let me log in. Go to the lender page. Everything should be there. You go to the lender page. We are expanding, we are improving this page. So the product offer is here. Next time it should show one-time close loan. And the lender I know is Blackstar. So you click on the contact here, you can see who is the AE. And you can call or email to get an answer. Okay? So now let's move on to the next. Anyone have any loan estimate? I can pull it out. I'm sorry.
Hi, Anton. Can I ask a question on your previous screen?
Sure.
Yeah, I cannot get the borrower paid option to pop up.
Really?
Could you walk me through
Did you
it?
log in or not?
I did not log in. I'm going to my web page and I quote as a customer.
Okay. Is it what is your website
Yes,
domain name?
yes2n.com.
Okay.
Number 2.
Okay. What happened is you think about it a little bit. On the main website, loanfactory.com, it is used by everyone in the world. It's used by the borrower, it's used by loan officers, the internal loan officer, or it's used by the lender, by anyone. So that's why we want it to be a tool for everyone. You can do whatever you want. It's a tool. But on your website, the user is your client, right? No one else, right? So you do not want to confuse them. You
Oh.
only want to provide them one rate, the rate that you want them to see, right?
Right.
So
No, I
that's
agree with that. Yes. If you just click on the quotes rate, I
yeah,
wonder if I
I
can
know, but
change it.
I don't need to do that. Let me explain to you. I know what's going on. I designed this, so I know. So you do not want your borrower to be confused, to see too many options. You don't want to show them the borrow pay rate or lender pay rate. You need to make their life easy and simple. They go here, they see the rate, and that's what the rate they want. That's what the rate that you give it to them. And that is why we don't want them to see borrow pay or lender pay. They don't understand that. They don't know that. They just need to know that they work with you and here's the rate. That's all. And that's why we hide them all.
Yeah,
But you,
completely agree. Yes.
yeah, I need your feedback. But I think about this carefully already.
No, I'm 100% with you. I do not want to show it. I just want to set it behind the scene and
Yes,
customer can just see the rate that I'm showing. It's
correct.
just right now, the rate that is showing there is not ideal. It's
Yes,
showing
yes,
with the 2.5
yes,
pips, and I
yes,
wonder if
yes.
I can change it later.
Let me show you. So here you see that lender pay and borrow pay doesn't show up. It's good,
Mhm.
right? It's simple, less input, but easier for the consumer to use. So we are done with that. Now go back to your web page. Let me share with you. So here is your profile. I can go to my page. You can see the quotable lender here, right? Right now you want only Rocket Pro on your pricing engine. That's why you add only Rocket Pro. You can add more lender if you want. And every lender, you can select the lender to be added, right? For example, Home Point Financial. And then because you are licensed in 6 states, it show up 6 states here. You can customize, let's say, oh, California client is very, very competitive. If I show 1.5%, I'm going to lose it. So I go customize it. I will put in 0.75 and save it. So now you can see Home Point Financial. 5 states here, you have the max rate, right? California, you have 0.75% rate. You can customize it. And then you can customize one by one. Right now, we set it at 1% for all the states. See, this is a current rate right here. You need to edit it and give it 1%. But Mozo, this is the first version. Mozo is fixing it to make everything easier for you. Right now, you have to go in and change it, manually change it. Okay? You can manually change it one by one. And
I
save
don't
it.
see that option, Tuan.
Yeah?
I don't see that option under my portal.
But hold on 1 second. Let me finish this. I will go to yours. Okay? Now I save it. You can go to yes2n.com now, right? And you can run the pricing. And you can run it now and let me know if the price is different now. It should be different.
Okay.
Okay?
But that was excellent though. Yeah, thanks for showing me that.
Yeah. So I'm sorry who just asked me that question. Can you ask again?
Hey, Tuan, it's Pari.
Perry, right? Okay. Hi, Perry.
Yeah. So if I don't have any quotable lenders on my page, you know,
Then if you don't have any quotable lender, it will default to use all the lender that loanfactory.com is using. And you can click on add to add lenders, and only the lender that you add will show up on your pricing engine. Let's say you don't want to work with Cardinal Financial, you don't work with Kai Lending, you only want to work with one or two lender. You should add those two lender, and then you go in and specify how much you want to charge.
Okay.
Okay, so just try that.
Okay. Do we
Sorry?
know which vendors give the lowest pricing so I could only add them?
Yeah, right. You can go to the main website loanfactory.com and play around to determine which lender have the best rate. That is the first way to find out who have the best rate. Secondly, you can talk to your LOA. They are aware of this. They can find out. You say, hey, Benjamin, tell me which lender will have good rates. Then he can find out and let you know. Then you can add it to your pricing engine.
Okay. Thank you.
What is your recommendation, Anton? Like, should we have every lenders there, or should we just stick to a few that we're confident with the rates?
It's up to you. So you need to try it out. You should, if I were you as a loan professional, loan officer, I would monitor the rate of all lenders regularly. So you get a sense of who have good rate and who doesn't have good rate. But we already make it simple for you. You don't need to do anything. You still can use all the lenders at loanfactory.com. But if you want to focus on one or two lender only, then you can customize your pricing engine.
Hi, I have one more question about the pricing. As you said, we just go to the borrower's website to pricing. But if I go back, log in to my own portal, the pricing is much higher than the borrower's website. So is that right? Or
Okay, are you talking about your website that consumer go to and check, right?
yeah,
And then you go to, when you log into loanfactory.com, you see a different rate, right?
yeah, that's right.
It's because the compensation is different. When you,
No, I mean logging my own portal.
I see.
Pricing from there, the rate is higher because only the way I can change the compensation is from my own portal instead of consumer if you hide it the borrow paid.
So this is what I want to ask you. When you log in to loanfactory.com, you want to see the same pricing at the consumer at your website, or you want to see different? The thing is, it's very complicated. Let me show you why it is complicated.
Mm,
For example, let's say Anne, right? Her pricing engine, she set California lower than many other states. And then when she log into loanfactory.com and she try to run a pricing, my question is, do you want to see the default value here? Right now we set a default value. Or you want the specific compensation for the state, California here, to show up. Let's say she set it at 0.75, then it will show up here. So you want the system to be so smart that it detect that, oh, my name is Ann. I'm setting up with California with that lender bracket at 75 basis point. And this system will populate this for you. Or you want to have all kind of flexibility and you'll have 1% by default or something. You know, it's very complicated right here.
mm,
You know, this is for everyone. When you log in, the pricing engine here is for everyone. So my advice is you should pretend that you are a consumer, pricing it at your website so that you and the consumer have the same on the same page. That is when you quote the client. That is when you don't have a transaction yet, right? The borrower just call you and want to know the rate. You should be on the same page with them. But let's say as soon as you have one transaction in the system, you should click on the transaction, go to the application, and decide there should be somewhere that allow you to select. Now, this is we're still working on it, I believe. We have to improve this. But let me show you. Let's say you have a loan. There's only two scenarios. When you price a loan or when you price yet to quote rate, right? That's it. If you price a loan to quote rate, you can your consumer website to quote. But if you have a loan to be priced, then you can click here. You have to set if you want wholesale or correspondent, and what lender you want, and then also the compensation that you want. Compensation here. Okay, you want lender pay or borrow pay, and what is the comp? So this is critical because the pricing engine will pick up from this. The pricing engine know that, oh, you want to do borrow pay 1%. And when you do the pricing, let's say you do pricing for this one, it will remember, oh, borrow pay 1%. And that means you have a correct pricing. The consumer will get correct pricing as well. Every day we send them the rate based on this pricing. Is that clear now?
Okay.
Yeah. So only two scenarios. When you quote rate and the borrower has not applied yet. And then the scenario is borrower apply and you quote rate, then you should enter how much you want on the transaction and then run a code on it. Click on the alert right here. It will pick up what you want. It will give the correct pricing.
That 1003 changes in the form will only appear once you have converted that to a loan, or it
Yeah.
will also have
So I
one.
would ask Mozo to improve so that even at prospect, you still can enter how much you want. And it will, by default, remember you have a default value. Let me show you. When you go to your profile, okay, compensation. You need to enter your compensation cap. So I think you cannot enter this. You have to let HR know how much is what is your maximum compensation. We won't allow you to change it every 3 quarters. So you can set it 200 or 250. You need to set your maximum comp under compensation. And then on your page, we will allow you to set how much on your pricing engine. We will allow you to set how much you want to get paid for every loan. And that will be the default value. So for the case of Anne, so in the case of Anne, she set up this pricing engine, right? This compensation, right? This will be the default compensation for any new transaction. You know what I mean, right? So Anne set that California 75 basis point, the rest 1%. So when there's a new loan coming in, it will pick up here and assign the new transaction. We have this compensation. Is that easier to understand now? Most of will pick it up. We will improve it. We will have that all of new transaction. This is your compensation and compensation cap show up. But right now it's missing. That's what NA, but it will show up.
So at the conclusion, like you said, before Moso improve prospector quoting, so
Yes.
we're gonna use the consumer, my own web page to pricing for them.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
And then-
unless I really want a competitive, so I set my default one as 0.75.
It's up to you. Yeah. If
Okay,
you want
gotcha.
it competitive, you should play around. You should set it 2%, and then you see the price really bad. And then you lower it to 75 basis point, you see the price is better. You should play around.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I know with some of you it might be difficult. That is why we will try to make your life easier. We will try to set a default value too for everyone. But just pay attention. If you need help, just contact your LOA. They can help you. They can guide you. You have someone to ask for help. So I hope everyone gonna give me feedback because we're making a lot of changes. As you can see, this technology improvement is very difficult to have, and we already implemented it. We are improving it. And you can see in the future, we're gonna add so much more feature to help you. For example, Rocket has a Purchase Plus program. If you are living in 6 big cities in the US, you automatically qualify for $5,200. Simple like that. You live in a particular city or zip code or census tract, you qualify. Our pricing engine will be smart. It will detect automatically. So that's why I'm pushing Mozo to implement it for us. That my goal is to helping you build a better system so that you can benefit it. And I want to spend my time to improve it so that thousands of loan officers will be benefited. And that is my goal. And I want everyone to give me feedback. If you run into any problem or you have any idea that you think good, you share with us. And if it's good, we will make it happen. So I think time is up, but we will spend more time on understanding the LE and the CD. And I also squeeze it in to show you how to read the credit report, understand credit report, and maybe helping them increase their credit score. I think it's very important to understand the LE, the CD, and the credit report. And I will have another training on that next week. I will also arrange the AE from the lenders to provide the training. You can pick any lender, any products, anything you want them to share. We can request them to share with us. They can train us. So instead of me that provide training every week, we have more people to train us. And if you look at the schedule, there are so many different topics. If I provide training every week like this, it will take forever. So I hope that we can have 2 trainings per week instead of once a week. And I would love to hear feedback from you. Whatever you want me to improve, what do you think I did well and not well, I would love to hear from you. Next week, I would love to spend about 10 minutes to listen to your problem. Like, for example, you try to win a client, but you lose. The client didn't choose you. You can ask any question similar like that. Or let's say the client asks a question and you don't know how to answer, or you're not sure if the answer is the best answer, you can ask me. Give me any scenario. I would love to share with you what I would do in that scenario. The more scenario, the better. That is how we can speed up and give you more exposure, more scenario that you learn faster. So I would love to listen to any question, any scenario you have for me. I also want to train you how to talk to the clients, how to read their mind, but all of that is really difficult. You have to have more experience. It has to come from you. When you talk to them, try to understand your borrower, try to read their mind, try to see what they want, and provide them the answers that they are looking for. If the borrower is concerned that their rate is high, then address it. If they're concerned that we cannot close fast enough, address it. If they're concerned that you are too busy, you're not available, then find a way to address it. Just find out their concern while you talk to them. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you. And I'm pretty excited with all the changes, with all the new technology coming out. But then I do want to listen to feedback. Any feedback I would love to have. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Bye bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Bye-bye.